Nintendo updated their end user license agreement, and you might have actually noticed this little notification if you tried to use your Switch account. You might have also received an email that Nintendo has updated the end user license agreement, which we will show you what they changed. But basically, this is the account process that you have to go through, is you actually have to go in and actually accept. You can also read it, but of course, we're not doing that in this video. We will read the important stuff, don't worry, but you can also decline, which means you just can't use your thing anymore. That is as simple as that. But like I said, Nintendo, of course, updated their end user license agreement, and this is basically the most important excerpt that I got from it, is Nintendo is cracking down on emulation once again. So let's read what they had in the first part here. Is that you are allowed to lease rent, you are not allowed to lease rent sub-licensed published copies. So they were very vague in their terminology, but in the more important part is in the new updated part, you are not allowed to publish, copy, modify, reverse engineer, lease, rent, decompile, disassemble, distribute, offer for sale, or create derivative works of any portion of the Nintendo account services. So basically, no modding your system, no nothing. And if you do, they have the right now in the end user license agreement to effectively brick your Nintendo Switch or Switch 2 or any device that Nintendo has and whatnot. You can also pause to read this. I will leave the Nintendo Life article in the description for you guys to look at. But essentially, Nintendo has made it very, very clear that they have no interest in you even modding your system. So, hypothetically, if you were to update your system, then that might honestly kind of screw it a little bit. It might actually brick the console, which it's not like Nintendo hasn't done before. I did read a little bit that Nintendo's done this with the Wii and whatnot, and if you don't know, oh my gosh, bro. The Wii was so easy to crack. So many people modded their Wii. In fact, I know some that had them soldered so that they could actually mod games and whatnot onto their consoles and stuff. And it's really been a massive issue for Nintendo cutting into their profits and whatnot. I think there was also a figure that so many people had like modded even their DS and gotten a Pokemon game that Nintendo lost out. And therefore, the Pokemon Company lost out on millions and millions of dollars of revenue, even maybe hundreds of millions, depending on the actual amount of copies that were stolen. But it is actually insane to see Nintendo actually just go so hard with this, even though it's not surprising. But it is, in a way, it is kind of crazy to see that, again, with the craziness that has been the past 5 weeks for Nintendo ever since that Direct. It is genuinely, you'd think that they wouldn't want to do that right before a console launch. Yes, I just threw that red shell behind me. I am an idiot. I understand. Just before I get 50 comments discussing my Mario Kart gameplay. I am playing this as I record, by the way. But the important part is, even if you mod your console, without, even if you don't pirate or you're not, like, emulating games or whatever, Nintendo still reserves the right to brick your console effectively or just ban it from online services, which I do want to highlight Nintendo has been doing for many years now with the original Switch. So if you were caught online with like a pirated game or whatever, they would just ban you from the online services, and this would extend to your entire account. I don't know if it extends per system, but it definitely extends per account and whatnot. So my biggest recommendation, I legit have not modded my OG Switch. The one that I got about a month after launch, have not at all modded that, because I do worry that it'll just effectively get bricked if it's ever caught online. And I'm not against the concept of modding, because I think that you should be able to do what you want with said console, as long as you're not impacting other players. Like, if you're, using your modded Switch to come online and cheat in games, yeah, that's a problem. But other than that, I mean, I'm kind of mixed on piracy in a way, because, you know what? Yeah, no, it's illegal. It's bad. It's not any good. You support the developers, chat. You gotta support the developers, because that's that's important. But in terms of like game preservation, like Nintendo's very stingy with their IP. Like I think there was a series that was like Golden Sun. Very hard to get that. To get a hold of that through official means, you got to buy a whole different freaking console. I guess the GameCube's a better example with games like Smash Brothers Melee or Mario Kart Double Dash. Stuff like that, it's really hard to get a hold of in a timely, in like an actual... It's hard to get a hold of those without paying like an arm and a leg to get them. So to an extent, I can understand emulation of games that are not readily available by the developer. Like even a game like a recent game, let's go like Minecraft Story Mode. You can't buy that anymore through official means. You'd have to go through resellers and whatnot. And the company that made it, Telltale Games, doesn't even exist anymore. They went bankrupt and folded. So to an extent, there's a gray area with it. Like if you're pirating like a new game like Mario Kart World, that's different. That's a little bit different because Nintendo's selling that to you. And I think there's definitely a bit of a gray area for that when it comes to game preservation with ROMs and whatnot. And if you're just pirating to pirate, like there's layers to it. But Nintendo doesn't care about said layers. They don't want it at all, period. So they've just decided that we are going to add this to our end user license agreement. So, hey, we told you that if you do it, then you're going to get banned. And, I mean, they're perfectly within their right to do it. Like, I'm not going to pretend like Nintendo can't do such a thing or whatever. I'm kind of mixed on it because, I mean, I don't mod my new consoles, bro. I'm not about that because if I do and it bricks, I'm not going to be happy. I don't want to brick a $400 system over here in Canada, especially not a $700 machine. So my suggestion to those that were thinking of modding their Switch 2, maybe don't, because again, not cheap. And if Nintendo sees it, they will, and I mean it, they will brick it or at least disable it in some way by making it so you can't go online. Who even knows? Nintendo has now gotten the you now agree to it. I don't know what the hell that was. You now agree to the terms and conditions, which essentially makes you liable that if you end up doing this, that your console's just gonna get bricked. And it is as simple as that. And I'm gonna guess that now that it's in the end user license agreement, that Nintendo's gonna go ham with bricking said systems. If you just don't screw up, bro. Lock in, but just buy the games, do all of that, and you should be fine. But, yeah, again, it is just kind of surreal that, again, Nintendo's doing this less than a month before the Switch 2 comes out, even after all of the negative publicity. But even on that front, I feel like people have kind of cooled off a little bit. I think the overwhelming excitement for a Nintendo console launch has definitely trumped any sort of price disagreements or whatever, especially now that we got confirmation that Nintendo's not really gonna, up the console prices, just the game prices. Again, there's still a lot of negative feedback, but is it really like as bad as it was before? No, it's definitely, it's tempered. It's tempered a lot. And, yeah, that's really it. So if you were planning on modding your Switch 2 or your Switch, don't go online. Do not go online. You got to keep that offline, bro. You got to keep that offline. But, yeah, that'll be essentially it for this video. Thank you guys, again, very much for all the support on the Switch 2 videos and all of that. I really do appreciate that. If any of you are interested, I'm doing a Mario Odyssey long play tomorrow. I'm premiering that. It's like a 7-hour freaking video. So if you want to see that, then press the screen right now. And yeah, thank you guys so very much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Peace out, everybody.